Hi, I'm Mike Koss, and I'm a board member at Reskill Americans. And we are joined today by Ore, who is a software engineer now working in Vancouver for Microsoft. And he has an internship with some of the very similar experience to what we're offering the Reskill Americans course this year. So, hi, Ore. Welcome to our little chat.
Yeah. Hey, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Our course, we're offering students four different tracks.
Okay.
There's kind of a specialization. We're trying to get people who maybe don't even know anything at all about programming to begin with. But we have a front end developer track, and you mentioned things like JavaScript, HTML, CSS.
Yeah.
We will teach that so people can build websites and web applications. There's a back end track, and you mentioned PHP. I think in our backend track, we're going to be using Python primarily, I think, but
Yeah.
we
That's
haven't
that's
settled on
pretty
that.
good.
Yeah. And there's also a user experience and design track, so getting to know how to design user interactions and communicating designs to developers, so I think that's a really interesting one. That's not strictly a programming track, but and then we have a mobile track, so building mobile apps. And you didn't mention anything about building mobile apps. I don't know if you have any of that experience.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, I did just like JavaScript on its own. It's really powerful, right?
Yep.
And there are things like Ionic,
Yes.
excuse me, that you can use to actually build for mobile. So sometime I used to write like articles, teaching people how to build with like JavaScript and Ionic and
Yeah.
deploy to your mobile phone. So I did have a little experience building stuff around that. And I did build some apps for people at the time. So the learnings I had from that period kind of took me through my career, and even right now where I am, it's things that I still apply them every day, right?
Uh-huh.
Anybody can learn to code because the first part is obviously, do you want to learn, and are you like, do you want to bad enough, right? Because with anything, like I said, the challenges are going to come, and that's when some people drop off. And it's okay to take a break sometimes, but
Yeah.
if it's something you really want to do, you it gets tough. It gets hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes I stop coding and then I go for a walk. Like take a break and then come back and look at it with a fresh mind. And like really asking for help. Like, oh, talk to your mentor or a tutor or something,
Right.
and say, hey, I'm kind of stuck on this bit. Like, well, how do you go about this, or what do you do when you're solving problems like
Yeah.
this? 90% of the time, somebody else has been through it before. And just like learning to write code, it's a huge deal. First of all, like props to you for actually getting started,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But really, it's like just gradual and continued progress. Really, it does pay off. Like those little chunks of time that you spend, and yeah, like it it can be daunting, but like if you really want it, it's yours. I know a lot of people from unconventional backgrounds in tech.
Mm.
Right? I know people who like did a bachelor's in arts and then they're writing code now.
Hmm.
Uh, so those examples, and there are many more examples, go to show that one, your basic, school learning or whatever it felt like when you were in school, uh, doesn't determine if you can be a successful software engineer or if you can actually be in this field.
All right.
Um,
Well, thanks a lot for talking to me today. It's if you're considering starting with Reskill Americans, building projects, getting your hands dirty, and then ultimately working in an internship where you have that real work experience. So it'll be a really great journey for you. So anyway, thanks again, Ori.
Definitely. Thanks for having me, Mike. I
All
enjoyed
right.
talking.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.